Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 4GQ TV. I'm here, your host, Carlo. I changed some things in my background. It's not blurred anymore. Yeah, it's new. And we have somebody who's loyal and a great panelist, co-host, interviewer. We have the amazing, everlasting celebrity, Paul. What's up?
You almost choke yourself not saying the other word, don't you? Yeah. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
So today, a new game. Well, it's new for people in Game Pass. It's technically the launch day, but you got to play this in early access 3 days early, I think it was, or something.
Yep, 2 days.
2 days, and so did many other people. It's Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yes, sir.
And
great game. And since today is Global Accessibility Awareness Day, so I will say that this is the most accessible Doom out of the franchise ever. Even way more so than Doom, the last one, Doom Eternal. And I've been able to play this one. I've enjoyed this one as far as I've gotten through it so far. I've done the first, I think, 8 chapters. And for certain reasons, I was able to do that multiple times. But we won't go into that, NDA. And you're Carlo, if you're talking, you're like real quiet. And if you're not, your thing is stuttering too. You're even on my main feed of you, not the stream. Yeah.
What?
I think you're broken. I think you're broken.
Wait, I'm broken right now? You don't see me clearly?
I see you, but you're like like roboting like a strobe light thing, where it's cut, like it's like 5 frames a second going on over here.
Oh no, on the main feed or on the vertical feed?
On my screen for the call. So if the call's doing it, the stream might be too. I don't know.
That's weird. I
no,
know.
Actually, stream looks okay. No, stream looks okay, but so your computer is fighting. I'll just let you know that. I can tell your computer is definitely fighting.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks because I'm fighting a cold or something as well, and I'm trying to pop open this generic Tylenol sinus medicine.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what's going on. I was fighting that, so.
And just so you know, I didn't do a full review of Doom, but over at Lords of Gaming, Wayek Mahmood has done one. It's on my my Twitter feed, and I did have a little bit of input on that review for the accessibility side. So if you want to check that out, go over there and check that out at some point. But they did a great job. The only thing it's lacking as far as accessibility goes is there doesn't seem to be any audio cues for the sightless impaired, for the sight impaired. But everything else seems to be there. So check it out. And you can slow the entire game up if it's going too fast for you, or you can just slow how fast the projectiles come at you, which is the main one I used. Okay. So yeah, be sure and check that out. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Really, seriously, especially, and it's not Doom Eternal, and it's not trying to be. This is what you're going to see here. Is you're not old like me. This is closer to what it was like in 1993, except that was a hallway runner. This isn't so much a hallway runner because you're outside, but there's a little bit of dodging here, which was introduced later. The shield is a lot of fun. The saw shield is a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to check that out, and it is on Game Pass. So if you already have Game Pass, it doesn't cost you a thing.
I think that's a really cool thing that Xbox has done, or Microsoft, however you want to call them now. But I think it's really cool that they did that. This is a big incentive for a lot of people. A lot of people are excited for this game. They were hyped up. Tom, somebody I met at, was it FanFest one year, and then San Diego Comic-Con, he showed up one year. He's a indie filmmaker. He actually made one of the Doom films that Aaron retweeted. So
Oh,
that was
nice.
it was really cool to see that. Yeah, like he really likes making Microsoft themed indie films, like shorts and stuff. So it's cool to see the fandom behind this. And Paul, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade here, but here it comes. Here it comes, Paul. Hold me back.
Oh, yeah,
Hold
yeah.
me back, Paul. Fight me. Okay. So I think the graphics are phenomenal. You can't not dispute that. I mean, the graphics are great, and the gore is great. Everything that you expect from Doom in this is great. But I got lost. Oh, I got lost.
I could see that. Yeah.
On easy.
Now,
I
when you
got
say
lo-
you got lost, you just got turned around and you couldn't figure out where to go.
Yes.
Which level, out of curiosity?
First and second level.
Okay, you're really bad at this game. No, I'm kidding.
There's a part where there's a blue key card, like holographed
Right. Yeah,
in
yeah.
the air. I spent 20 minutes trying to jump up at it because I couldn't figure out how to get it.
Ah, and you couldn't, and you didn't figure out there could be another pathway somewhere.
I didn't want to waste the time to look in case I was wrong.
So you wasted the time to jump up and down for 20 minutes.
I did. I did. Yes. It would have been like
It's like,
Bugs
look,
Bunny enters
Look,
Doom.
if you jump twice and it don't work, that's not gonna work the rest of the times either. Yeah. So, and you were saying before we went live that you actually prefer Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I
Now,
like Doom.
I have a question for you about did you actually complete Doom Eternal?
No, I did like 2 levels.
Oh, jeez.
Because I got lost.
I prefer it, but he got lost. Yeah,
I got lost. And when I got lost, I just gave up because I kept jumping off the edge and couldn't figure out where to go. I was like, oh, this game's cool.
I
but
know
don't
what level that was. Yeah, that level sucked.
I'm like, I just don't know where to go, man.
Yeah, and there's in this game, yeah, there's no direct pathing, though it does have the arrow that kind of tells you where to go.
Yeah, I need path markers, Paul. Can we
Did you turn off the guide arrow? Because even if you got to get to the key, it'll lead you there point by point. It'll go here first, then go here, then go here. Yeah.
Well, I have this little not a full circle thing, but some type of map marker thing that tells me where to go. But it's not like a full path marker with lines on the ground.
Right.
So,
they don't do that, but the path markers should at least get you in the right area.
No, and like in the area that we're on right now, you could see that one that I'm playing, I couldn't figure out what to do, and then eventually I was like, oh, maybe I just got to kill everybody. But I kept turning around and turning around and turning around.
And that is true. Sometimes you do have to clear the areas and stuff. Yeah.
So for people out there with short-term memory issues or any medical condition that causes short-term memory loss, keep in mind that just keep going, even if you think you're going the wrong way, as long as you're following the little circle map marker thing, and also clear the areas, because it took me a minute to, especially where the big 4 portals are, like in the first level?
Oh yeah. When you have to close the 4 portals. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to kill everything in all those areas. Yeah.
Guess who didn't know that?
It was right there on the screen.
And
after you did the first one, I went, oh, kill everything in the area and the portal goes away. That should have told you that the other 3 are exactly the same way.
Yeah, no. And in fact, I passed the first portal and the second portal, and I was like, oh, I can't figure out how to close these. And I even started shooting at the portals, and I was like, it's not working. What? It's not working. I was like, is this a bug? Is this a bug? And then I kept going. I went to the 3rd and 4th portal, all the way to the 4th portal, and then I killed everything in that area. I was like, oh, that's how you do it?
Yep.
And then I tried to get back to the 1st and 2nd portal, and I almost jumped off the bridge twice, but I found the secret key up there when I almost jumped off the bridge.
Yep. It's a them in any given order. So, yeah.
So is it supposed to be that difficult?
I think you made it more difficult than it had to be. Yeah.
I could stream that and say it's on hard mode, and some people might believe me because I'm just going in circles.
Yeah. Ah.
So I do think that path markers are necessary for people like me to help out. I really do. I really wish that every game would put in like
Well,
Outriders did.
but like I said, that little error, not when you're looking at the map, not when you're looking at the map, but when you're on your screen, there should be a marker that tells you basically what direction to head.
Yeah, there. I mean, there is. Don't get me wrong. There, it is there, but you're talking to me, and like,
Oh, that's true.
they could put a big smiley face and be like, go here, and I'd be like, wait a minute, which way am I going? I don't know where I'm going.
You want the demon standing along the roadside with road signs going this way, this way?
Yes, like Wile Coyote this way, but you just don't hit a wall. You know what I mean? No, but I think
that means you haven't got to the fun parts where you have like the gigantic mech or to get to fly the dragon. You haven't done any of the fun stuff yet.
I haven't flown the dragon. I did get in the gigantic mech.
Okay, you did get to the mech. Okay, yeah.
And I did put it on the easiest mode as well for someone like me because I get frustrated if I get lost, and I know me getting lost, I would get killed a lot, especially if I'm circling back 10,000 times in one.
Well, the nice thing is nothing respawns once you kill I should say once you kill the main part of whatever that level is, nothing respawns.
Guess who got lost on the mech level?
Dude, that is the most straight through follow the pathways level that I've run into.
I know. But I found out that there's some areas like walls that just don't crumble, and I walked into it like 4 times and it didn't do anything. And I'm like, this must be the wrong way.
Yeah. You're gonna be a fun old man when you get older. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Paul. I could be be hanging out with you.
Where's Carlo? He's walking into the wall. Go get him. Yeah.
He's walking. So tell me about your experience in the enemies in this game. What do you think of the enemies? Do you think there's any too hard? Do you think it's just right?
Well, no, like I said, whoops, your camera just went bye-bye.
Yeah, I gotta do something real quick while you talk about this.
Okay. So what I think the enemies they're fine for me as far as how many there are and stuff like that. Like I said, I did put it on I played it a bit on the normal mode, found I can get through like 99.9% of the enemies until they get to the bosses. The bosses tend to step it up a level. But then again, even like when I've done my further long through a while back, that's when I messed with a lot of the accessibility, slowed down how fast the projectiles could come at me, because you can reflect the green projectiles back at whatever shot them at you, and in some cases you have to do that, in order to destroy him. So, I mean, I'm really enjoying this game. I like to me it is a callback to the old school Doom.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because when I was looking at the map when it first brought up the mini map for me, and you saw like the little gray boxes and it's like, so it actually just came up on screen as we're talking. Yeah. And it is like a corridor type map, even though it's outside, like you said, it's still kind of like got that corridor kind of like level design. So
in fact, it's seeing right on the screen right there. It's showing. Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of Doom fans love this, because it is a true kind of like throwback to the old Doom, but with modern day graphics.
And it's not and there's not really any, there's not platforming. And it, like I said, it's not Doom Eternal, which was not, to me, was not classic Doom. There was no platforming, in Doom, in the original Doom in 1993.
Oh, I mean, you're 100% correct.
And the Doom, and I don't know how much of it is manufactured. Oh my God, if it's not like Doom Eternal, it's stupid. I'm not going to play it. I don't know how much of that is manufactured. I think a lot of it is, though. So,
it could be. This is where I'm hitting the portal 10,000 times.
It's so nice that you record when you mess up.
So
Yeah, for
we
that area, you had to stay in the same area and basically clear everything out. By wandering through area to area to area, you just had enemies all over the place. Yeah.
I did. Good thing it was on easy.
Yeah.
If anybody's in the chat, I can't see you, but thank you for watching. Thank you for coming by. Hit that like button, like, share, subscribe.
Yep.
Um,
I can't see the vertical. I can only see the main feed. So
anybody talking
I
in there?
guess I don't know. Nope, nobody has said a word.
Okay. Well, if you want to say a word, ask Paul lots of questions about Doom. He likes it. If you ask me questions about
Actually, I
Doom,
might be seeing the vertical. I don't know because that's because YouTube. So
let me see if I try to. I have this chat thing up, and I don't know if it's working with chat, but let me go into the stream itself and see that way.
Oh no, I did have the vertical. For some reason, I only pulled up the vertical the first time. So yeah, vertical there's no comments, and horizontal there's no big thing. There's no comments yet either. So nobody's watching.
All right.
No, not that nobody's watching, just nobody's talking. So that's right.
Yeah, I mean that happens. But
Yep. Helps if we advertise it out too. You didn't share it out, did you?
no, I
you
didn't. No,
You see, you never do.
I'm so bad at that. And we just took out some ads on some of the other videos that are doing good now. But yeah, I need to do that. So some of the mechanics in this that I do like the punch thing that you get later on, like when they tell you can punch like 3 times. I think that's really cool. I think the throw in the shield, like a chainsaw kind of thing, is really cool. I like how the shield could deflect. I think that's great. And since I did play the mech level, I will talk about that. I think the mech level was a lot of fun. I think the level design on the mech level was a little subpar. However, I think the mechanics, the look, the feel of you in the mech suit was phenomenal. They did a great job with that portion.
Yeah. Well, you say the design was subpar, but it's not meant to really be a full blown out, mech with rockets and guided missiles, and it's just a big gigantic exosuit, dude. Is
I
all it
wanted the
is.
Titanfall experience, Paul.
This is not Titanfall. But you're right about the feel, though. As far as the feel goes, the movement and stuff with the controller, it was spot on. The whole game, it feels like that. It feels correct. It doesn't. At no point does it feel like he's skating across the landscape. You know, it looks and feels correct. So yeah, that's one thing they always tend to do well. So
Yep. And I'm not sure if it's. I guess when the enemies are dazed, does it show the purple for all the difficulty levels, or is that just for when you're on easy like me?
I'm not sure, but I do know that if you go through all the settings, you can change all the different colors for all the different things for the items for the different for like the if you can deflect it and all that stuff and the projectile, all those colors can be changed so that you can see them. And what's cool is because there are a lot of collectibles in this game. On each level, there's collectibles. And if you
Yep.
change the colors, you can highlight them so that you can see them. It makes it a lot easier to run around and grab those collectibles.
What?
Yeah.
Paul, I didn't know this.
See, you didn't go through the accessibility menu, did you? See, I always go through the accessibility menu. So, and there's actually like 2. There's the one they start you with when you first start the game, when you first boot it up. But then when you go to select, when you go to actually start the game and you select what level you want to play in, it tells you we got sliders and there's all these different things that you can go through and set up.
You know what section I went to, right?
No.
HDR on or off. I tried to put it on and it says that my graphics card doesn't support it, but I think it's the monitor that doesn't support it.
Ah.
So, is there anything that maybe you wish was different, or are you just enjoying the whole experience?
I'm enjoying the whole experience. Like I said, I think I said while we were talking, I do wish they would have. They have no audio pings for like to help the sight impaired. To me that's the biggest weakness. So somebody like Sightless Gamer or Sightless Combat rather, or some of the others, they can't necessarily play without assistance because they don't know where the enemy is, especially when it's all coming at you. You know, so so I think that's for me. That's so for as far as I've gotten so far, that's been the weakest thing. But yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of the experience, and I will finish it. It's just I've been playing so many other games as well. You know, it's like oh, there's so much to play right now.
Yeah, speaking of other games, the other game that I've been playing is Oblivion Remastered still. Like I'm dedicated on getting all the achievements and I want to beat it.
Yeah. Because that one has guided. He can do his little spell and he can see where he's got to go. So that's why he likes that one.
Yeah, well, I did get lost in that too already. I got lost.
I was gonna say sometimes that guide doesn't help you. It guides you to the side of a mountain and you're like, okay, now what do I do? You know,
Well,
because it's giving you the straightest way to the shortest path to something you need to get to, and it's through a wall. Like, yeah, but you didn't tell me how to get around the wall. Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so, and you know, I'm not the only person that has that problem with it, that has like short-term memory issue loss. So when I was playing the game, I got lost in the sewers for this mission where I was supposed to get like the Elder Scroll.
Yeah.
And I went on Reddit, and the people on Reddit were like, well, if you're playing on console, you're crap out of luck, because on PC, we're hitting the tilde key.
Oh, jeez.
Typing console commands to get through those walls. I was like...
so you're cheating. You're using no clip, you bunch of sissies. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so some of them on Reddit are. They're using the stuff just to get the item in their inventory and then turn it into a quest. Yeah.
By the way, just so you know, when you're shooting at the guys with the red hot shields, dude, throw your shield at them and they will explode and take everything out around them. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, because it popped up on your screen and it said that, so you probably didn't read it. So.
Yeah, I do have a problem reading the screen. Like I don't pay attention.
No, you flash right past it. What the hell? I don't care.
Yeah, it's just hey, it's a mechanic. Cool. All right, let's go. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, I watch you do it all the time. It's like there's no way he read that. Bam, nope, he didn't read
it. No, but the cutscenes are so great in this too. I don't think I brought that up, but the cutscenes are very cinematic like, and they feel very. They almost feel like the modern Halo cutscenes, like Halo Wars 2. Yeah. They just feel so good for a Doom game.
Yep. Wait till you get further on into the story and you can start to see what's going on.
I think.
By the way, even this part that you're on, I loved, like you were doing a minute ago, just standing there watching the big fight go off in the distance with the big gigantic one and the You
see, I'm walking towards him, and then
I'm walking.
I even turned all the way back around to try to go to the cannon. Yeah, because I couldn't figure out that I was supposed to go on the little cannon, so I went all the way back to that big cannon in the beginning of the level. Yeah, see, if you're watching right now, you'll see me going all the way back.
I don't see your guiding marker on. I don't know if you have it on. You may not have it turned on.
Oh, it's not that little triangle thing?
What little triangle thing?
Or rectangle that's sideways?
Where are you looking at? The down on the bottom, the blue?
No, all the way to the right.
All the way to the right. I do not see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's it. That's where you basically got to be headed to. Yeah.
Yeah, see how it went all the way back to the beginning?
Yep.
So my skills in Doom are very far advanced.
Yep. And if you would just head over to that triangle instead of trying to swim to the guy. Yeah.
I think I should write some game guides on where to go.
Yeah, right. We followed your game guide. It took us 127 hours to complete a 15-hour game.
Look, and I'm not even realizing where it's supposed to shoot. Everything's
what's cool though is because you are lost wandering around, you actually picked up the codex. Okay, yeah. I want you to realize this.
Well, that's how I've been finding a lot of stuff, is because I've just been wandering around.
Instead of just getting through the game, you're actually picking up the stuff. Not because that's your intention. You're going, well, I'm going to collect everything. No, you're just lost.
Yes. Maybe they did think of me after all. Maybe like, if he gets lost, we'll just put it over here. So what
Uh,
else have you been playing, Paul?
I actually picked up the Precinct, which just dropped on the other day, which is basically if you're old like me and you played games like Police Quest and stuff like that, it's you're a rookie in a police department, and it's like a top down, think old GTA type stuff as far as the driving goes. And then you're a cop on the beat, and sometimes you're in the car, sometimes you're on feet, and you gotta like you're trying to solve this big case. I'm enjoying it. It's different. It doesn't have very much accessibility though. I don't know how much I'm going to play it. The driving for me is very difficult. I had to turn the sensitivity way down because that cop car fishtail is way too easy.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
So like a 1980s police car?
Actually, exactly right. That's where they have you too. They have you in the they have you in the I believe the 80s, the mid 80s.
Oh wow,
So yeah.
that would do
But
it.
that's a lot of fun. Let's see what else. Of course, then I've still been playing World of Warcraft. I did in my first couple of raids today, as a matter of fact.
What's up, Megatron?
Hey, Megatron. Oh, and of course, I've been playing Towerborn as well.
Okay, I haven't played Towerborn yet just because there's no achievements in it.
What do you mean there's no achievements in it?
That's what I heard because it was early access.
Okay, this game preview.
Yeah.
Let me check. That's what it. And I don't usually do side-scrolling fighters, but I am enjoying Towerborn. So let's see. Are there any achievements aren't supported? That's actually correct. So there you go.
Yep. So that was the reason why I haven't played it.
But I've still been playing it a lot because it's a lot of fun, and it's it's up to 4-player multiplayer. So
Oh, nice. That is pretty cool.
yep. So let's see. Looking at my recently played, of course, I did Forza the other night with the who used to be the ambassadors Xbox Canada group, and then Doom, and then of course the other one that I may not do much of is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants Unleashed. Of course, and Clair Obscura I need to get back to. There's a lot of games I need to get back to.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Expedition 33, how are you liking that one?
That one's really cool. I like that one. Um, I can see why people are saying it could be game of the year. So
It's turn-based combat too, right? But they did it well.
yeah, it is because it doesn't feel like turn-based combat. It doesn't seem to stop every. Yes, it stops and you select, but it's the way they did it is very well done. It's not as clunky as other turn-based combat to me. So I enjoy it a lot. Another one I need to get back to. There's all these games that are out here, man, that I just want to play. Too many, yeah, boy. As soon as we get past this, Xbox has no games. I don't know what I'm going to do because if this is no games, I don't know what's going to happen when they start having games. Holy crap!
Oh, that's good. That's good, Paul. No, I mean, right now, I think that they have a lot of great games out there. I think they did a great job with lining them up for this year. And people were like, "Oh, they got no games." Well, it's because they were building games for this year, and
Yep.
and we also got Fable coming down the line, which I'm really excited for. Like
Hopefully, I'm hoping to get more information on that come June in about 2 weeks. So
yeah, I'm hoping we are too. So, Paul,
yeah.
I know tonight the big topic was Doom, and I think we kind of covered everything on
Yep.
Doom.
Yep.
Anything
see.
else going on?
Um, I will be doing a show. I don't know when we're actually going to get it done, but because I'm doing another show, and he wanted to. I don't know if you know who Jokey is. I met him through another group.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so I had to watch. I actually had to. I only had to watch two of them, but I watched all three of the Popeye horror movies. Those things are bad.
Yes.
Those things are so bad.
Oh yeah.
So bad. Oh my god, bad.
Is Screenboat better?
Screenboat's a lot better. Yeah, Screenboat's actually Screenboat treated the source material with respect.
Is it?
Yeah, and they even worked the source material into the story behind Screenboat. Uh I think the worst offender for the Popeye movies is one called Shiver Me Timbers. Uh,
Oh wow. So you talking
but
about Jokey Pants?
yeah, him. Yep, yeah.
I think it's
So
what the Oddcast or something.
yeah, the Oddcast. That's him. Yeah, that. Yeah, they put out a call out for anybody who wanted to do something with them, talking about whatever, and they know I know old movies and I know cheesy ass horror. So yeah, so yeah, I suffered through that. Um, it was painful. It was very painful. Uh, uh the first one I watched was by the guys that did Winnie the Pooh and the Blood and Honey and Blood and Honey 2. I would have thought by their third movie they got better. I actually think they've gotten worse. Okay, I think they've gotten lazier or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there, but
No.
yeah,
You think
I mean,
so?
yeah. Oh, dude, it was bad. It was probably worse than Blood and Honey in some ways.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. And of course, for those of you who didn't know, this last Mother's Day, and I picked a great day to watch these things. Uh, that didn't know that Friday the 13th was originally released on Mother's Day weekend. Kind of fitting, wasn't
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
it? So there you go. Like in 1981. So that tells you how old that movie is.
Wow. Yeah, I mean those were classic though. Those were definitely some of the
Yep.
classic slasher films. Hit that Michael, Halloween.
Well, yeah, those were the ones that brought in the modern day slashers. Um, because we had horror before that. Because what's it called? The Hills Have Eyes and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre all predate that by almost a decade. But a lot, even though horror fans know what those are, they don't realize that even at that point, slashers were nothing new. It's just that Halloween made them popular again when it came out. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like Alien made horror popular again. That type of horror popular again. Yeah, so it goes through waves. And right now, if you're a horror fan, man, you're eating good because every time you turn around, there, aside from all the bad cheap crap that's coming out, there's also some really good movies coming out. So
Yeah. What there's
yeah.
another one coming out by Sony. Um I can't think of the name of it. But they're pushing it now harder than Until Dawn. Uh oh, why can't I think of the name of it? It's
I
really
don't know.
Man, Pog, we gotta find it now. New horror movie by Sony.
Oh, that's going to help me out. Yeah.
Because A24's latest horror movie didn't do that well.
Which one? Which one was theirs?
Uh,
Of course, to me, A24 is like Blumhouse. They have some really good stuff, and they have some stuff that's not so good.
maybe I'm thinking of Blumhouse.
Let's see. So I saw the first thing that comes up for Sony is the Until Dawn one. Of course, we knew about that.
Yep. I know what you did last summer.
Oh yeah, I don't know how well that's going to do because I know the I know what you did last summer, and then I still know what you did. All that stuff started to whatever. So we have Wolfman, which was utter crap. Um,
Yes, that's what people said. I don't know why people didn't like
I
it.
I wanted that movie to be good but it really wasn't Wolfman. I don't know what the heck it was. It was one of those let's slap the Wolfman name on it and maybe it'll sell, type of things.
Ah,
I know we're getting a sequel to Megan, which should be interesting.
okay.
I still haven't seen The Monkey. I want to check that out. Final Destination Bloodlines. There it is.
Yeah, that's a big one coming out.
Yep. And 28 years later, it's also coming out. Actually, 28 years later, it's coming out this week. And Megan 2.0 is coming out on June 20th. Megan is one of those that I liked it to a point. I think they dropped the ball on parts of it that they could have done a lot better.
You think so?
Yeah. Like they, in some ways, they tried to play it safe. It's like, no. Let's see her rip somebody apart. Let's, let's. I think what it was when she grabbed the one kid and she stretched his ear or whatever. It's like, there's no way it's that stretch. You guys are just, he should have ripped his ear clean off, So I Know What You Did Last Summer comes out. And this is a reboot, actually. So this isn't a sequel. This is just a reboot. So there's no way it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Oh,
Sorry,
here's what I
guys.
did. Oh. What'd you break? Am I talking to myself?
No, you might have heard an echo real quick because
I didn't.
I'm just
yeah. So it looks like Insidious has another one coming out as well.
okay.
And not much. And of course, the supposedly last Conjuring movie is coming out as well in September. And Saw 11. Oh, Black Phone 2. There's one that's going to be in October of 2025. And one I'm not looking at is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I didn't even care for really Five Nights at Freddy's. I think that was another one that they could have done so much with, but in some ways they tried to play it safe. And I'm not a fan of horror movies that play it safe. I'm sorry, I'm just not. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I hear you.
at the end of the movie, everybody's like, "Hey, nobody died, yay!" I'm like, "What the hell?" So I may have got some of the dates wrong because the way this article's put together is really kind of stupid. Whoever did the editing on this article needs to be shot.
No, Paul. He was kidding.
Yeah.
What article you reading?
Out of Cosmopolitan, like the 25 horror or 16 most anticipated horror movies. Just the way they put it together, it's really kind of confusing. That one was done. So I never even heard of this. The one they mentioned called Companion. I think it looks like a Megan wannabe.
Interesting. Huh.
It's a psychological thriller, so it's not really horror. It's a psychological thriller. So yeah, twisted love story about a guy and his love doll. Oh, really? That's not what it says, but really, that's what it is.
I agree, Sir X-Man.
What'd he say?
He said Doom is such a beautiful game.
Yep.
Paul, that reminds me. They should have a Doom ball golf with friends.
Ooh, yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, and you wanted to talk about SYFY Florida?
Oh yes, SYFY. So it's SYFY Bartow, aka BartowCon LLC. They're throwing an event in Zephyrhills at the Lions Club, and
I have no idea where any of these places are, even though I live in the state. I have no idea what that is. What any of that is. No idea what those words mean.
It's on the other side of Florida, past like Tampa area. So
okay.
So Zephyrhills, Corin Nemec's going to be there. Joe Davison's going to be there. I think voice actor by name Robert Duncan. I might have got that name wrong, but they're going to be there.
Duncan Watson. Duncan Watson. It says.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Duncan Watson, voice actor. Doesn't say what he voice acted in, but yeah.
Yep, he's going to be there. So it's gonna be pretty cool. There's gonna be a car show. There's gonna be a costume contest, and it's for everybody to come out. It's not like one of those big conventions where you might not want to bring your kids. No, this is a place where you could bring the family, bring the kids. They're gonna have some vendors. It's gonna be a lot of fun for the family.
Let's see, tabletop gaming, and it looks like it's a 1 day thing, so it's going to be a busy show. Tabletop gaming, car show, large movie props, costume contest, partial proceeds donated to the Lions Club of Zephyrhills. Okay, that's actually 2 words, not 1 word. I don't know whoever did that poster should probably be hurt.
Yep. And Sir Axeman says that he's into bowling now, no more golf.
Yeah, he's been playing that 2021 bowling game. That's all I ever see him playing now.
There's a 2021 bowling game?
There's a 2021 bowling game that he's been playing. I didn't even know it was a thing till he mentioned it on the show a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Let's see and has there been any other like industry type news? There was like
beauty TikToker was shot in Mexico.
What's that? I didn't know about that.
A beauty TikToker, yeah, somebody that was well known in the influencer circle. It's a shame and sad to see that stuff happen. I don't know why people just do things like that.
Yeah, because they're stupid. And there was one, I can't find it. Some lady's leaving a studio at Sony that she actually started.
Yeah, she's leaving Haven. I saw that. Yeah,
and she was actually one of the founding people of Haven. That's always weird to me when one of the founders is like, "I'm out."
Unless they got paid well to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, 8 new shows got renewed for Netflix.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Not 8 new, but 8 shows got renewed.
What are they? What shows?
Forever. The 4 Seasons.
Okay.
Survival of the Thickest. Bridgerton.
Okay.
The Diplomat. Love on the Spectrum. $7 million Secret. I don't.
So all of the reality TV shit got renewed. Well, not all of them, but so those get renewed, and shows that I watch, they don't get renewed. Okay, well,
Paul, we just don't vibe with the audience today. My Life with the Walter Boys. What title is that?
See, a few of those, at least I know of, are reality TV type shows, which means they're cheap to produce. Yeah. Bridgerton has now reached the stage of how kinky can we get this next season. So so it should be interesting. Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about this. Okay, Sir Axeman says that he's waiting for Bridgerton season 4, one of his favorite shows.
I've never got into Bridgerton.
It's all right, Paul. There's still hope for you yet.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Yeah.
It shows Sir Axeman's thing twice on screen, but Sir Axeman, don't worry, you got seen there. Hideo, what's his name? Hideo Kojima,
yeah.
Hideo Kojima wants to make a game that punishes people for not playing it. Did you hear about that?
Something, yeah. So basically, if you stop playing, you come back to it later. Yeah.
Your character forgets stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is actually be an interesting idea, that all of a sudden some of the skills you learned, you don't remember how to do them, or they're skilled down because you haven't played the game in a long time. Actually, I think that could be very interesting to do.
Maybe, but what about people that don't have time to play all the time?
Well, then that's their problem, isn't it? No,
You're like, Paul.
no, I think when he says, "Oh," for a long period of time, I think when he's talking month, not like a week. I think he's talking like if you set a game down, you come back to it like 6 months or a year or 2 or 3 years later, which we've all done at some point. Um, because not only in a way it could make sense because what if it does that and it recognizes that you haven't played this game in like a year? Do you want a refresher? Because I've said before that with some games that have a lot of mechanics in them, if I haven't played in a long time and I don't remember how certain things work, I will start a new character to the point to where okay, I remember how stuff works. Then I will go back to my actual save. So so if you could do that within the game, it might be interesting.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking through the entertainment category, and there's like stuff that's not even interesting to me that I don't even know why it's
Yeah.
in entertainment.
Let's
Holly,
see. So just so everybody knows who might be watching, who might have heard rumors that Steam got hacked and user accounts and passwords were false alarm. Steam confirms that nobody got into their systems. It's all BS. So
yeah, it was something. It wasn't just like an SMS log that was public data in a sense, anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, it was something that wasn't worrisome. Holly Holm returns to boxing on Jake Paul card. Ooh, entertainment news. Ooh.
Wait. So so Jake Paul's gonna box another nobody. Sweet. Or has been, or never was. Why am I not champion? Because you keep boxing people who don't know how to box or are too old to box or have never boxed in their life and you're winning. Yay, you're winning. You're winning nobody. You're winning. It's like
Yeah, there is just like no good entertainment news out there, man. Everything is just
for those of you who watch wrestling, Jim Ross was diagnosed with colon cancer, surgery being scheduled for in the next week or two. And of course, hopefully everything will come out good for Jim. Jim is old school WWE and all that stuff and or
Ooh,
WWF in the old days. But
I got some news for you, Paul.
what's that?
Did you like Leprechaun the movie?
Yeah, I did. You know,
Okay.
our friend B. Harrison Smith wrote a book about Leprechaun the movie.
Okay. You're going to like this. Leprechaun Reboot lost its director to blank movie. Can you guess what movie they lost him to?
Um,
Think Nickelodeon.
uh, all that. No, I don't know.
Bob the Builder.
They wait. they, wow.
That's
That's
according
almost
to
that. I mean, that's almost embarrassing. That's
yeah. Because what do you expect to do better, Bob the Builder or Leprechaun? I think Leprechaun would do better because it's an IP in the horror franchise. It's kind of known. Bob the Builder is people grew up.
yeah,
Like
but their kids haven't. So I think Bob may actually do pretty well because it's a kid. If it's geared toward kids, it may actually do pretty well.
so.
Unless Bob the Builder's gone public domain and he's going to start slaughtering people. You
No,
know.
that's not. No, we got a long time before that. So is that mean you're gonna go, Paul? You're gonna hang out with family, go see? Yes, we. Bob, can we build it? Yes, we can.
No, but I may send a link to Harrison about the whole thing that Leprechaun needs a director. You know, Harrison can do that. Harrison knows how to honor the '80s movies, man. If you go watch his stuff.
Oh yeah, B. Harrison Smith's awesome. If you guys don't follow him, give him a follow. He really calls out fake news every morning too. It's just
Yeah, that's what he
great.
does. But he's written a lot of books, including about not only about Leprechaun and about his life, and he's done a few movies that I have not found. I have watched all his movies, at least that I can get my hands on, and not one of them is bad. Not one of them. He does a great job. He definitely he's an '80s kid. You can tell he's an '80s kid, and it carries over in his work. He also did a book on the movie They Live with Roddy Piper and Keith David. Um, and it talks about how They Live was allegory to Reagan's Reaganomics and all that stuff. And if you've never watched They Live, that's another great science fiction movie that was done by John Carpenter, by the way. So, where the aliens are down among us and you can only see them when you look through your special Ray-Ban glasses.
It really must be a slow news week when even MSN News is posting stuff from 3 weeks ago from Game Rant.
Yeah, well, most of the news that's hitting now is a lot of political stuff.
So
So it's kind of getting buried in everything. Oh, I did you see the new head of Sony said basically that that engagement is what's key now, not so many consoles sold and stuff. That engagement is where they're headed. So in other words, boys and girls, everything that you've been yelling at Xbox about, Sony's headed that way. It may take them a little while longer to get there, but they are headed that way. So because they're looking for engagement, more eyes on the screen. They don't care. They're getting to the we don't care where you play our games as long as you play our games phase. So and that's basically, even though she didn't say that outright, by her saying that engagement is key, that's what they're saying. Because that's what I've been saying. That's been Xbox's thing for the last, couple of years. And I've been saying that over and over again. It's about engagement. It's about getting people in there. That's why Game Pass, you can play everywhere. It's about engagement, and so they, at some point, they will be putting more of their games on PC specifically. And who knows? I don't know if they'll ever put it on Xbox at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, assuming Xbox. I think Xbox is still going to have a console. A lot of people at Xbox are going to have any more consoles. I don't think we're done with that yet. I think a lot of that is people just, talking to talk and don't understand that by doing what they're doing, Xbox is actually making a lot of money. And they're making a lot of money because people are playing it on PC, but not only through their true Game Pass, they're buying it on Steam, they're buying it through the other stores it's available on. They're buying it on Sony, on PlayStation. So they're making money. And when it comes down to it, they're a business. That's their job. That's their number one goal. You know, I can't play it on my Xbox. Okay, well, or I can play. I should only be able to play it here. No, those days are long gone. Oh, did you also speak? We're going to get back to Quake a little bit. Did you see people are complaining that turns out, shocker, that people bought the collector's edition of Quake and the game is not actually on the CD? Are you
Wait,
shocked?
no,
I
I
was
mean,
absolutely shocked. I was.
wasn't there some type of issue with Doom with that? People were canceling their Doom pre-orders
Or not
too.
Quake. Doom is what I meant. Yeah, Doom is what I meant. Yeah,
like
Doom. They are. I'm canceling my pre-order because the game is not on the DVD.
no
Yeah.
games are anymore. Like,
Yeah,
it's just the reality of it. Unless you want to go back to physical cartridges, even the Switch games really aren't going to be.
No,
all
they
there
aren't.
either.
You're in for a shock. You won't be buying much of anything, and really soon here. It's a license to use, but part of that is because, and like Lemon always points out, goes back to 360. As soon as they said, "Hey, we can add content, we can patch stuff on the fly." Holy crap! Okay, you know. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So I do think it's hilarious that people are up in arms, and one of those little bad rags was posting, a lot of people are returning or are canceling their pre-order. And you know what I'm thinking to myself, aside from the canceled pre-orders, which means the people, if I didn't get one, I can probably still go get one of them statues if I really wanted to. I bet you those same people that are complaining that it's not going to be on the disc are gonna be, if they haven't already started, playing it through Game Pass right now. Okay, they saved themselves $300 and they're still playing the game.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's
But
the thing.
but they have to post online that they're all up in arms and they're gonna not do something. Okay, so but you're still gonna play the game, right? Right. That's back to that engagement thing. So you didn't buy the big bad copy, but you're still engaged in the game. Congratulations. You just proved Microsoft's point. You know.
That's the thing today, right? Like, I mean, nothing's gonna be forever anymore. Nothing's gonna be online forever. Everything's gonna have like a date where it's gonna come off the store eventually or expire, or they're gonna
Yep.
lose a license to the soundtrack somehow, like we seen with the Forza series. The cars lost their licenses.
Yep.
So I think we're in this digital age, and we have to expect those things to happen. We can no longer assume that it's there forever. It's not like the consoles of the day where everything was offline and you had a cartridge, you plugged the cartridge in and you played it. A lot of people don't know this, but sometimes even cartridges had revisions to fix minor bugs. Like there's Vision A and 1A and 1B and stuff, and you wouldn't even notice it, like, right? Because they would just do it out in batches. So I don't know, man. It's just the way things are today. You can sit here and get mad about it all you want, but it's not going to change it. I mean, corporations that control these things, they make a lot of money. And they make a lot of money doing it this way because people, and it's not me and you, Paul, like this is generations today. They want digital. They want quick, easy access. You know, we can play.
Well, and you know what, though? Even games that are on the physical media, the DVDs and stuff, they break down over time.
They do.
Not over a short time, not like, because even like people who have their cassette tapes from way back in the day or their VHS tapes from those things break in unless you're keeping them in an airtight container somewhere or in a controlled environment. Those things are breaking down too. That's why a lot of these companies, they do that. I have a friend who that's actually what she's done. She worked in a museum, but she was also um, I believe it was Limp Bizkit that she was in charge of storing all their masters and stuff and cataloging all their stuff. They keep that stuff in very controlled environments because it will break down over time.
Yep.
Yeah. Even if it is digital stored on any kind of media, it will break down over time. Even hard drives will have a failure rate. So, I mean, none of this stuff is forever. No, none of it.
You're correct. I mean, look how many times the 72 pins on the NES would break on some people, right? You'd have to get the 72 pin replacement. I mean, you could buy them on eBay and Amazon and fix it yourself, but there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to do that.
Right.
And eventually, at some point, they're going to stop making those replacement parts too.
Yep, because there's not going to be any.
It's just not going to be any worth it.
Yeah, not going to be worth it for them.
And then you're stuck with a broken Nintendo. I mean, it can happen with anything. You know, your cartridge are just like little RAM things, and you can mess them up too if you don't know what you're doing. So hopefully,
and even just unless it's stored correctly, again, even if it's just sitting in a garage somewhere, sitting in a closet, humidity can break it down. You know, anything, get enough dust in there, and then you decide you're going to crank that puppy out before you clean it. All of a sudden, you're playing that game of, oh, that smell. Gotta smell that smell, you know, and you're like, uh-oh.
Yep.
Something's burning, you know. So, I mean, I get the whole thing with wanting physical and stuff, but my thing is, like, even I can sit there and go, oh man, because I do. I used to have an extensive CD collection for music. I used to have over 200 and something 360 games. I don't have many more. Sometimes I wish I still did. Absolutely. But again, I know that the way things are changing, even if like we've always said, even if you have those discs, the first thing it's going to do when you load it up, we need to patch. You know, and yeah, it is a bummer because when you had those discs, if you were offline for whatever reason, let's say your internet's out, you know, you could throw it in and at least play the rudimentary version, even if it wasn't great. But again, that was then, this is now. You kind of, you know, they're trying to make things as redundant as possible. And So one of these days, we'll probably get shoved back into the Stone Age, and nobody gonna know how to do anything. I'm just saying. Uh, so, and I was actually thinking about this, because we did that interview last week or the week before with that guy who talked about if EMPs hit us and
Yes.
took everything out. Even the people with the shelters and stuff, unless they have actual hardcover books that tell them how to make soap, how to how to do these rudimentary things, it's not like you're going to be able to pull it up on Google. Okay, what do I do if I need to make something? How do I get that information? So some of these survivalist guys you better have at least some kind of basic idea of how to do certain things, and you're going to have to look it up and do it the old school way, the way they did it, all throughout history before we had everything. I need something, I'm going to run to the store. You know, even basic gardening stuff, and not just basic gardening, but knowing what grows in your area. Because I live in Florida, only certain things will grow. I can't grow coffee beans here, which will be a heartbreaker for me. you know, but you have to know what works in your area and what doesn't. So yeah, I think people have gotten too things have gotten so automated and so easy that I think that the whole idea of, well, and some people are like those that say, well, I want the hard copy so that I have my own version of the game. Well, you don't. Like we said, it's usually just a little file that says the person who's putting this disc in their drive has access to the game. Which means, yeah, the nice thing is that once I'm done with it, I could hand that disc to Carlo, and then he'd be able to load it on his. But other than that, it serves no purpose. You know,
That's why I think game preservation is very important, but we're at this point where some companies don't like game preservation, even if those titles are not being sold anymore. So it's like we're at a standstill for digital future archive, and we could lose a strong part of history at some point.
yep. I think that's true in all cases because remember, a lot of what we know throughout history is through letters that were written, especially during the war when letters were written from like the people overseas back home and vice versa and all that. None of that because I guarantee you most people don't print out their emails and stuff, even their personal correspondence. So I think when it comes to being like a few hundred years from now or 1,000 years from now, nobody's going to know how we lived. Seriously,
Well,
nobody.
if you look a few thousand years from now and they ever recovered somebody's email drive, they'd be like, "Who's this famous Nigerian prince that wants to give away all his money?" And then write a book about him. The Nigerian prince who gave away all his money.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
Paul,
So,
anything else?
not that I can think of. No.
All right, well, everybody that came out, Megatron, Sir X-Man, everybody else watching, appreciate it. Everybody that watches after, appreciate it. Drop comments below. Let us know what you think about what Paul and I talk about, because sometimes we just ramble about different things that are relevant to society today. But, Paul, where can people find you?
You can find me on X, formerly called Twitter. It's Cerebral Paul One. Twitch, it's Cerebral Paul. You can find me, of course, I'm an editor at Lords of Gaming. Like I said, check out our review of Doom, which I had a segment in for accessibility. And of course, you can find me here on Thursdays for 4GQ TV and Fridays for Wasted with Wise.
The Retro Renegades.
And Retro Renegades when I feel like it.
All right, everybody, well, you can find me here on 4GQ TV. We'll be covering some more stuff. We're trying to get more interviews lined up. Also, we just got some information that Sydney Sweeney's new movie, Americana. So we're trying to set up an interview for that. So keep your fingers crossed that we get that done. But everybody out there, thanks for watching and check us out. Thank you.